In only 100 years from the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in 632 of the Common Era, or the 10th year of the Hijrah, Muslim forces fanned out from the Arabian Peninsula all the way across North Africa into Iberia and then penetrated as far as the middle of France. It was there in 732 of the Common Era that Charles Martel of the Frankish kingdom defeated an army led by Abdurrahman al-Ghafiqi near the town of Tours. No Muslim army has ever gone that far north in Western Europe since that date. From the online Britannica entry for the Battle of Tours, we read, "The Frankish victory has sometimes been regarded as decisive for world history, but in fact the revolt of the Berbers in North Africa and internal dissensions in the Muslim dominions, culminating in the establishment of the Abbasid Caliphate in 750, were the real causes that brought the Muslim advance to an end. Indeed, Abdurrahman's invasion more closely resembled a large-scale razzia than a true attempt to conquer and hold territory in Aquitaine. One might say, therefore, that it was not so much the result of one battle that prevented Muslims from taking all of France, but rather that they were already overextended and disunited. They never even conquered all of Al-Andalus. The mountains of the north remained under Christian rule and became the base from which Spain and Portugal were retaken during the Reconquista of the next 7 centuries. Muslims were in possession of the southernmost part of France for 40 years, from 719 to 759. The region was then known as Septimania, and its population was a mixture of late Roman, Gallic, and Visigothic peoples. The Frankish kingdom up north was at war with them, and the Muslim garrisons in the major towns were accepted as allies of the local nobles holding out against the Franks. Up until the establishment of the Emirate of Cordoba in 756, the Muslims in southern Gaul were nominal subjects of the distant Umayyad Caliphate. They were of Berber descent. And from the state of their burial sites, of which 3 have recently been found near Nîmes, we can surmise that they lived rather peaceably with the locals. There was no large-scale conversion to Islam. When the Franks finally drove the Muslims out in 759, there was little to show that the Muslims had ever been there. And yet, since we held that land for more than a generation, Muslims might say that it was ours. Do Muslims have a permanent right to lands that they conquer, if only briefly? Are 40 years enough to claim the south of modern-day France? What about 700 years in Al-Andalus, modern-day Spain and Portugal? If we waive our rights to Barcelona and Lisbon, could we give up Tangier and Tunis and Tripoli, conquered from the Berbers and the Eastern Romans over 1,000 years ago? We hold them now, but what if we lost them as we lost Palermo and Plovdiv? By what rule do we say that Morocco, Tunisia, and Lebanon belong to us, while relinquishing Sicily and Bulgaria without complaint? What is the principle, other than length of time, that separates our 40 years in southern Gaul from 1,400 years in Palestine? What allows us to accept the loss of one but prevents us from accepting the other's loss? Perhaps our principle is inviolate. Whatever we have ruled once remains ours forever and must one day be reclaimed. Or perhaps there is no principle. What we hold is ours, and what we lose is not. Is our only definite right the right of conquest? And does defeat erase that right? I have no answers, only questions.